Our third lesson will talk about headers and footers. We're going to leave the page layout ribbon and go to the Insert ribbon by clicking on the Insert tab. Notice that there is a header and footer group. To add a header, I would click the Header command, and I can select from different styles. To add a footer, I would click on the Footer command, and again, I can select from different styles. Finally, there's page number. If I want to add page number to my document, I can click the Page Number command, choose top of the page, bottom of the page, or I can choose current position. This means that the page number will appear where my blinking cursor is currently. And again, I can choose the different styles. For now, let's look at the headers. I'm going to click Header, and we're going to choose blank 3 columns. Once you do that, Word will be helpful and tell you where you can type your header pieces. So in one section you can type your name, another section you can type the document name, and you can add the date if you choose. Right now my text is plain, but I can highlight my text and I can apply different formatting styles. Notice that once I highlight my text, Word 2013 gives me a pop-up that has the most commonly used formatting commands. I can make my text bold, I can make my text italicized, I can change the text color. Anything I can do to text outside of the header, changing colors, changing styles, changing font, I can do to the header. The only difference is my header text is located above the rest of my text. If you don't see your pop-up, or if your pop-up vanishes, it's okay. You can go to your Home ribbon and still apply the formatting styles from the font group. So if I decide I no longer want my header to be italicized, I can unclick that. Notice that we have a contextual ribbon appear, the Header and Footer Tools Design ribbon. If you recall from Intro to Word, a contextual ribbon only appears when certain elements or objects are selected on your document. So right now, because I have a header selected, my Header and Footer Tools contextual ribbon appears. The moment I click off my header, that contextual ribbon will disappear. To access it again, I'll have to double click my header, and then my Header and Footer Tools Design ribbon appears once more. Under the Header and Footer Tools Design ribbon, you can change the header style over here on the far left side. You can add date and time. So what this will do, it will also update the date and time as you update your document. You can add pictures like a company logo, and you can assign a different header for the first page and keep subsequent headers or footers similar on the rest of your document. So if I check this box, notice I have my first page header, and I can make this different from the rest of my document. Right now I'm going to uncheck this box and keep it the same. When I'm done changing my header, I can click Close Header and Footer to exit the editing feature. Notice that when I clicked outside of the header or footer, the text automatically went a little bit lighter in color. That's normal, and that's how the header and footer is designed. So don't worry if your text, the text color becomes a little bit lighter. There is another way to add headers or footers to your document. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of my page, and I'm going to add a footer to this document. To do so, I'm going to move my cursor down to the bottom edge of the paper and double click. In Word 2013, when you double click onto an edge of the footer or the header areas, it will automatically open up the editing tools. So once I see my footer, open, I can just start typing to add a footer, or I can use commands found on my header and footer tools contextual ribbon that appears. So for now, I'm just going to add a page number at the current position of my blinking cursor, and let's make it accent bar 1. So here I have my page number. I'm going to close my header footer, and there you see it. Our next lesson talks about adding page borders. Now, for informal or sentimental documents, adding page borders can be a nice decorative touch. I will caution you about adding page borders to professional or work-related documents. Some of the styles that you can find in Word can be seen as tacky, and I'll be careful to point those out to you. We're going to go to the Design ribbon, and along the far right side, we're going to click the Page Borders command. This opens up the Page Border and Shading dialog box. Here we see the styles, and you can click on the arrow down or use the scroll bar to look at the different styles. These are usually simple lines or dots. These are more appropriate for a work environment if you have to add a page border. Once you select the style that you like, you can draw the borders using this graphic in the preview section. Notice that when I click the top button, the top page border vanishes. Same with the bottom border vanishes. I can click these buttons again to bring them back. So I can decide what kind of page borders I want. Do I just want them on the top and bottom? Do I want it along the whole document? And down here we see Apply To. So once you decide which sections of the page will have the border, you can apply it to the whole document or just the first page only. With page borders, so that you don't overwhelm your audience, try to keep it to the front page only. Now, once you decide how you want the borders to be laid out on the page, you can also change the color of the border. So under Color, click the drop-down box and select the color of your choice. You can change the width of the line, so if you want thicker versus thinner lines, you can do that as well. And now to the part that I'm going to caution you when using art. I'm going to click on the drop-down box for art. These are page borders that were very popular with earlier versions of Word back in the 1990s and maybe even the early 2000s. They're cute, they're whimsical, they're little graphic images that you can put along the border. They're great for holidays and sentimental and family events. I would be very careful when using this in a professional work environment. But you can apply some of these graphics as page borders. For now, I'm going to leave the art blank, and I'm going to click only the first page, and I'm going to apply it all the way around my page. Click OK, and now I have my page border.